We are live. What is going on, everybody? And we are live. What is going on, everybody? Can y'all see me? Can you see me? Woohoo! I got to put in here, woohoo! Can you see me? Woohoo! I got to put in here, woohoo! There we go. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Lindy's Treehouse. Can y'all see me? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. Lindy's Treehouse. I'm still checking my phone. There we go. What is going on, everybody? I am so happy to be here. I'm speechless tonight. I am speechless. I tell you what. I'm glad that everybody can see me. Did we go live? Did we go live? I love my Thursdays. I do. I love my Thursdays. I don't know what this is what all this is about on on my chat. Got to scroll down here. Let me see. Can you guys all see me? Put in the chat if you can see me. I'm looking at everything. Tell me in the chat. I'm just verifying everything. Oh, if you're speechless, Tony said, if you're speechless and might not be a good show. I know. I'm just so happy to be back here on Thursday night. I love my Thursday nights, and don't worry, peeps, I'm not going anywhere. Thursday's my night. Every Thursday I will be here at 8:00 just for y'all. Okay, I'm just letting you know, because yeah, it's been a crazy week. 2 weeks, right? Yeah. I had we had the big ice storm up here, and welcome, Tony, Mr. Vegas. Welcome. No worries, Mr. Vegas. I'll be here every Thursday. I can't leave my peeps. I know I missed you guys a lot last Thursday. I really did. But I'll tell you the story about my adventure during the ice storm. It was pretty crazy. Yeah. It's something I wouldn't wish on anybody. You know what I'm saying? I would not wish it on anybody, but I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. This is Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramount USA. Come on up. Climb up the treehouse. Hang out with us tonight. We got lots to talk about tonight. And I'm just super stoked to have you all here. Hi, Joe. How you doing? How you feeling? I hope you're feeling better, Joe. Joe Adele in the house. I should write down as you guys are coming into the treehouse, since it's only me, but I think I can write down who's in here. So Tony was first, and then Joe was second. And yeah, I miss my co-hosts. I do. I always check on them, and I try to, trying to talk Gypsy into coming on the show again, and she might in the future. She's just busy. And is Will Fly in the house too? Will Fly was flying. I saw him on Facebook. Y'all see him flying on Facebook? Will Fly was flying. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time tonight. I got all kinds of stuff to talk about. Well, Joe, I'm glad you're okay. Goodness gracious. That whatever, you're poor Joe Adele. Joe had kidney stones, y'all. Yeah. Those are ouchies. Personally, I've never had them before, and I don't want them, but lesson learned. Make sure that you drink a lot of water. Lots of water. Not so much sodas, cut back on the sodas, alcohol, and all that stuff. You might be good. But Joe, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad you're here with us tonight. this is really fun. I'm just gonna hang out and chat a little bit. I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse every Thursday night. Yes, you guys know me. I love my Thursdays, and I'm just super stoked. I was very, very. If you guys watched Ready to Paramotor last week, and Robert, as soon as the show opened, he gave me kudos on my show, and man, I love that kid. Robert, my son, is just I love both my boys, but what he did last Thursday was just that was epic. And I didn't tell him to say that either. When he started, saying kudos on my show, about my show and everything, I almost fell off my chair. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. So he'll probably be jumping in the chat later. What's Bill H up to? I don't see Bill H in the chat yet. I'm watching the chat, but I'm not seeing Bill H. Let me see. Guess I can scroll up or scroll down or something here. No. Tony says, Happy Thursday, Linda. And I'm just gonna next Thursday, I'll be here next Thursday at 8:00. Same time, same place, everybody. It's I'm like I said, Thursdays really work for me, and my gosh, this month is going so fast, right? And before you know it, the Torchport flying will be at the end of May already. So I'm super stoked about that because I know Joe's going to be there, and I'm hoping Jade and Eric said they were going to be there too. So I'm pretty excited about that, about seeing all my peeps next month, the end of the month. And am I going to go up in the air again? No telling. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go up in the air or not. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how the day goes and everything. So what's this here? What's this? Oh, Tony says, well, we know Scuba and Munchkin getting busy, but Scuba will check in as soon as he can. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I know they're still in Nashville, right? And they're doing their business stuff or whatever, and it's all good. It's all good. And it's Will Fly. Will Fly's flying. Is he flying? We're going to do all kinds of stuff tonight. I'm going to talk about the ice storms, my adventures. More people get in. Everybody have a seat. Come up in my treehouse, viewers, listeners. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Subscribe to my channel. It's in June. It'll be a year that I started the show. So it's pretty cool. And you guys have been so faithful to showing up every week on my chatters. And I really appreciate every one of you. I do. I couldn't do the show without you. And I do it for you guys. I don't do it. I enjoy it and everything, but I do it for you guys, because without you, I couldn't have a show without your support and encouragement and all that stuff. I couldn't do it without you. So just going to say thank you so much, everybody who follows me every Thursday night. Yeah, I was last Thursday I was at my sis's, and so it wasn't really feasible to have a show. But gosh, I stayed at the house for like 4 days. I was here with no heat. And the last day, I am enjoying this. Tony said, glad you're having fun doing this, Linda. Yeah, I do. I really enjoy it. I enjoy having you all here tonight too. It's cool. Every week I have to be more creative. And like I said, podcast is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot that goes into it because you have to stay creative to keep your people to keep coming back. And I don't compete with anybody. I just do my thing. And whatever you see right here on the screen, that's me. This is me every day. I don't have to pretend that I'm something else every Thursday when I get on here, because I know I'm something else. Y'all know that. Tony says, got to keep us updated on Kramer and Michelle. Yep. I message them good morning every morning. And Michelle, she's still working her 2 jobs and she misses us very much. And Gypsy delivers food, takes food to her family, that she adopted, I guess, her adopted family, and takes food to them every Thursday. And so she stays busy with that. And plus, it's staying lighter longer. So a lot of times she likes to get some kiting in too. But Gypsy, if you're listening, I love you. I miss you very much. And John Wayne's in the house. Hi, John Wayne. How are you, cowboy? I'm so glad you're here tonight. I'm going to write down John Wayne. All right. And we said we'll fly. Will Fly's in the house. We'll fly, flying with Dairy Queen. Will Fly, if you're listening, you need I think Will Fly needs a Dairy Queen, a wing that says Dairy Queen on it. Don't you think? I think so. That would be funny. I think that would be really cool. Oh, Will Fly isn't in the house? Okay. Well, if Will Fly's listening, he might be listening. I don't know. But don't you all agree, though? Wouldn't that be cool if Will Fly had a wing that said Dairy Queen on it? Big old ice cream cone on it. I think that'd be so cool because that's his signature, Will Fly and his ice cream, his Dairy Queen. We all know Will Fly. Yes, that's his signature or whatever, I think. And I think he should have. I wonder if somebody could custom make him a wing that has a big ice cream cone on it. That'd be really cool. So tonight we are going to talk about everybody has a story. So we're going to kind of go off of that tonight. Everybody has a story. And yes, my show is like no other. You know what I mean? I try to keep it fresh every week and make people think about things and have fun with it. And we're going to have the fun facts tonight. And then, of course, we're going to have one word. I'm going to mention one word during the podcast, and then towards the end, then you guys have to guess what word, what word I saved from the show, and then whoever guesses it, then will get go home with a sticker. And Scott Savage got his koozie, this beautiful koozie this past week or whatever. I sent out a koozie. So I have, fun little contests. I don't have the fancy wheel, all that stuff yet. So on another note, I have to get creative on what to do, and if you guys have any ideas, what I can do as far as, guessing games and all that. And we are going to still play the game, play that, the fun facts. I do that, towards the end of the show. Did you know that? My fun facts. So tonight we're going to talk about food facts, because I know everybody in the chat we all love food. So I thought this week we'll talk about food. What did we talk about last week? I think it kind of went everywhere, right? Last week we did some fun facts, and then we talked, for whatever reason, right? The subject went to trees. So everybody had trees, we talked about different trees. And that was fun. We kind of kept it going that way or whatever. What flying is this week? I think Will's at with Mark, right? Mark McElroy. Yeah, Tony Marzano said, I can't remember yesterday, let alone last week. No kidding. Yeah, no kidding. It's really funny with this ice storm thing, my sis lives downstate. They're like 4 hours away. And I remember a few weeks ago, I was praying that I could, I missed my sis and I wanted to go hang out with her. And I was praying that I could go see her, right? Well, God answered my prayer, but when they say God works in mysterious ways, well, he gave me an ice storm so I could go see her. So thank you, Jesus, but I really enjoyed my time with them. It was quite a blessing, and it's quite a blessing to have family. So, yeah, if you got family, hug your loved ones, because we're not here forever. And yeah, so my power went off on the 30th of March, Sunday morning. Power went off. And I knew people were losing power here and there sporadically. But then when I woke up, just grabbed a cup of coffee, and then the power went out. And I'm like, boy, what timing is that, right? And so I'm like, now what? So I still had my phone because I had 5G. So, but I didn't have internet because when the power goes out, right, you don't have internet because it kind of go together, internet, power, whatever. So, so I called my son, and him and my daughter-in-law, they would come over and check on me, make sure I was okay, and brought me tacos sometimes or coffee or whatever. And we kind of hung out, and he brought me a propane heater. And, stubborn as I am, I mean, I can't believe I stayed in that house 4 days, 4 freaking days. And that was my choice. Okay. My son didn't have power either. So he brought his propane heater over and, said that I could, use the propane heater. Well, I didn't feel comfortable having propane heater in my house. So, so I didn't take the offer or whatever. Well, my apartment was 52 degrees the first day. And then every day, gradually, it kept getting colder and colder. And I kept waiting and waiting for the power to come back on. And I didn't want to leave. Well, come the fourth day, my son says, why don't we call your sis? Have your sis come get you. And the people that what was I going to say? So my sister, my son said, let's call your sister. Well, as stubborn as I am, I was like, oh, I don't want to impose on them and all this stuff, it's okay. I'll be okay. And he's like, no, Mom, I've been worried to death. I haven't been sleeping. I've been worrying about you. Let's call your sis and have her, come get you. And so we did on that last Tuesday. I called my sis, and she said, absolutely, we'll come get you. So they're downstate. So they drove 4 hours, came up here and got me later in the afternoon. And it's just as well, because when I got up that morning, it was 41 in my house, 41 degrees in my house. And so I was free. Then the anxiety, after the fourth day, the anxiety started to kick in. And my son and I remember that morning, he's like, come on, Mom, get to Walmart and we'll get, get stuff or whatever, and cat food and whatnot. And so, yeah, it was, yeah, I then I started feeling cold and anxious and everything. And some people up here still don't have their power on. Tony said, how did an ice storm get you together? Because my family lives downstate, so like 4 hours away. So it's not like I can get down there and visit them whenever I want to, because I have to have somebody take me down there, or somebody come up and get me. And so it's this all worked out good. So that's how I got to see them, is because I had no heat in here, and I had no internet or anything, and I was freezing. And so next time when the power goes out and I don't have heat, I'm out of here. I'm not going to hesitate to call family and say, come get me. I'm going to come down with you guys. I want to spend time with you. So it was really nice. And thank you, Judy. Thank you, homie. Judy, I called my brother-in-law homie, my homie for men, for letting me stay with you. I really appreciate my family so much. They've always been there for me. And like I said, I should have called her earlier, and I was like, no, I'll be okay. I I'll, I don't want to bother them. That's what I was saying. And so my family was scolding me and said, you should have called earlier, called earlier or whatever. And the family would have came and got you 3 days before. And I pretended like everything was fine. My family would call and check on me, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And yeah, it's cold, but I'm okay. And I had like 6 blankets on my bed, So, yeah, it was quite an adventure as Molly jumps up on the desk now. She wants to see what's going on. As long as she behaves. My Miss Molly is my kitty. And usually she's sleeping, right? But she doesn't want to miss the excitement of being on the show with me, I guess. As long as she behaves, we're good. We're good. So yeah, so that's my story. I tell you, I've got some fun things to talk about tonight too. And let's see, I got my notes. So we're going to open it up with accentuate the positive. Okay, welcome chatters. Everybody jump in. Come on up, come on the show. Jump in the chat room. I'm Paramount USA. Come on up to Lindy's Treehouse on Thursday night. We always have good things, fun things to talk about. So yeah, Tony, that's how we kind of, I got to see family and everything. See my sisters, and like I said, they're 4 hours away. And then my son and my daughter-in-law. Then on Sunday, they came and got me and came and drove downstate and picked me up. So brought me back to the house. And then my Tuesday, I had a technician come to my house to get my internet back on. And so I got that done. And I guess I figured out, I live in a house, right? And there's like 8 units. Well, I live at the back of the house. So apparently the cable wires, there's 2 different cable wires, one that runs, to the back of the house. Because this house was the part I'm at is an addition, was like an addition. They added on to the house and made it into little apartments. So, so I think my internet and all that was down on this side of the house. And I finally called and I said, I haven't had internet like forever. And so, yeah, somebody came out within like 3 hours. I was really impressed. And he went outside and he looked at the cable box and he said, it looked like it's been messed with. And so that might have been the issue too. So when the power went off, maybe somebody in the house went down there that lives, in these little apartments here, went down there and messed with it. And yeah, when he left, I had my internet back. So that was pretty cool. And then you guys, I didn't know this, but because with Spectrum, I just have the internet. But I was reading on Facebook that you have to call them, and they will give you a credit on your bill, on your next bill, for how many days you lost. You didn't have internet. So anybody that knows me, I write everything on a calendar, everything. And so I was looking on my calendar, and I told her, I told the gal when the power went off. And she tried to tell me it was off. It was only off 1 day. And she said, oh yeah, we're going to give you $6 credit. I go, no, my power was off longer than 1 day. And my internet was off. And I gave her the exact dates of the internet. Make a long story short, I'm getting a $15 credit on my next internet bill. So, I may be almost 70, but I'm not stupid. Okay. So you really, with these cable people and all that, you really got to stay on it. You got to stay on it. So I'm pretty proud of myself. So I'm just giving you guys the heads up that, yeah, they were trying to pull a fast one on me. And I was like, no. So then when she checked in, she go, oh, and she said on the phone, oh, I didn't realize that. We didn't have that in our notes or whatever. I didn't realize that you had a technician come out on Tuesday. And yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then she said, yeah, you'll get $15 credit on your bill. So pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So I was pretty proud of myself. And I've been just moving right along. Got my taxes done yesterday. And so I'm all good with that. And thanks, John. You know John, right? You know it. When it's just me, myself, and I, you got to figure this. I call it CHIT. Yes, not SH. You got to figure this sheet out. And like I said, I had everything written on my calendar. And I'm just... and I just let them know, hey, no, I get that credit. So just giving you guys a heads up, if that ever happens with you with the power or whatever, don't hesitate to call your cable company and say, hey, am I going to get a credit? Because they won't give it to you unless you ask, right? And so I was on the horn, as my dad used to say, get on the horn, give them a call. Is that get on the horn? Is that like a 90s? Is that a 90s saying, you guys? Get on the horn. It's almost like when I used to have my horses, horseback riding. You don't want to be riding on that horn. That would hurt. You just wouldn't. And John Wayne knows all about riding horses. Yeah. It's fun. Yes. I remember taking my horses up in the mountain preserve, and my kids would remember, my boys would remember. That we would go up on the go up in the preserve with our horse, the mountain preserve, ride our horses and for hours. And then the next day you wake up and your saddle sore. Yeah. Good times. I miss that. I miss riding. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know anybody that's got horses around here, but it would be fun to get back on again and ride, I'd be super stoked about it and all that. Yeah, I know more about manure. Yeah, John. Oh my goodness. What do we call them? The apples? The apple picker. Yes. Yeah, to get out there in the stalls or in the we didn't have in my little farm, we just had them in not in a stall, but in a pen, in a pen. And we had a white goat named Sugar that kept, yeah, the goats, they keep the horses company. So, good memories there, right, John? Good memories of riding, going on those trail rides. And I remember one time when I was still dating, whatever, we went somewhere in Arizona on a trail ride, and nothing worse than getting on somebody else's horse, when they have these trail rides, whatever. I was pretty nervous. And it was at a friend's house or whatever, and they had a bunch of horses, and they said, hey, you want to go, we're going to take a ride, I'll put you on this horse because he's pretty gentle and blah, 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 And so they put me on this horse, and the 2 hour tour turned into 4 hours. And oh boy. Yeah. And, so it was kind of terrainy. So you're going through trails and you're going up, what do you call it? These ravines. And I remember the horse going up the ravine. And, John, when they kind of lunge, they do a little bit of lunge because they have to hop up over on the ravine, like whoop, like that. And I swear, I don't know how many times I almost fell off. I was hanging on for dear life because they slow down and then they have to jerk, jump up to get up to the top. And John says, no, we had 150 horses for tourist rides at stables. Lots of work with non-riding people. Oh, wow, John. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, it is a lot of work. And, people have to sign. I'm sure that they have to sign something that you're not responsible if they fall off or whatever, ride at your own risk, right? Yeah, for the non-riding people. That's great. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. See, we all have stories. See, John's telling his story. I didn't know that John had a tourist rides at stables. That's cool, John. Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's why this is kind of fun that tonight we're talking about stories, that we all have stories. And please put in the chat what your story is, what you used to do, I don't know. Tony, where did you live in Wisconsin? I forgot where you used to live before you moved to Vegas. And when did you move to Vegas? So I want to hear a little bit, because we're kind of chit-chatting here for a little bit till more people get in the chat. Because I think that people are, is there a fly-in this week or something that I missed? I'm just wondering. In the meantime, I want to say a shout out to my brother, Johnny. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday, John. I'm hoping you're having a great day, had a great day, and you're having a great evening and everything. I love you bunches, bro. Happy birthday to you. I'm making notes here because I have this is what I do all day. Get ready for my show. I got to, I got to make my notes. And I want to give a shout out to Great Lakes Electric. That's my power company. And the linemen and first responders and all that for getting our power turned back on. And they've worked so hard. Hi, Robert. Robert, paraglidingtalk.com's in the house. And my sister-in-law, Kim. Hi, Kim. How are you, girl? Happy birthday, John. I love you. John is Kim's husband, my brother-in-law. Yeah, so cool. This is so cool. Thank you. Make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends. Come on up to Lindy's Treehouse on Thursday night. And I got to say, Robert, thank you so much for that shout out last Thursday on Ready to Paramotor show. That was cool. I did not expect that at all. Wow. So I love you so much, Robert, and I really appreciate you doing that, doing that shout out for me. Yeah, so I'm having a good time here tonight. We're just gonna do everybody has a chance to win a koozie or a sticker, and we'll do this later on in the show. In fact, I ordered some more koozies today. I'm just letting you know. I'll be giving these away periodically. I got some cool koozies coming. They're like tie-dye koozies. I just ordered them today. So little by little, I'll order some more, and I'll just be giving out koozies all summer. I think it would be fun because they're easy to mail out. Just put in the little envelope or whatever and get them out. Nothing crazy. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just have to get more. I have to get more creative with the games. Play to do different things so you can win. Robert says we are just about to eat dinner. Okay, Robert, I love you. Come back after dinner then, okay? Or you can listen to it while you're eating. Don't forget to say grace. Oh, you're barbecuing? Robert says hamburgers. Yummy. Yeah, you barbecue, huh, Robert? Robert loves to barbecue. I remember, I want to come visit you so bad. I've been praying about that I've been praying about that. Oh, you do? Okay. Give them hugs. Give my great grandbabies. Give them hugs for me, everybody, okay? I love you bunches. I hope they can all say hi or whatever in the chat. And yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you Sunday. I watch the live stream church, and I can't wait to. I love Sundays. Hang out at church with Robert, my son, Pastor Rob, on Sundays. Yes, Robert Michaels during the week, Pastor Rob on Sundays. Yes. So yeah, enjoy your evening with the babies. And give my grandboys a hug for me too. They're just growing up so fast. So fast. So thank you, Robert, for stopping by. I'm so blessed. Like I said, thank you, Judy, if you're listening, and homie for letting me stay with you. So I could defrost for a few days last week. I didn't realize how much I needed that visit. And it was really nice. I had a really good time with everybody. So, but anyway, I'm going to read something really quick here, because I think I did all my shout outs. Torchport Flying is May 23rd to the 27th. So anybody wants to come out to Michigan that weekend, I'm hoping to get out there on one Saturday, maybe a Saturday, and just hang out with everybody. I'm glad Joe Adele's feeling better. That's good. And I know I'll see him at the fly-in, and we always have a good time. So let's see. So I told you my story about my. Oh yeah, I was going to read you guys some fun facts here. So I already know that I'm getting on my phone here. So don't just bear with me here, because I screenshot something and I want to read it to you. Okay, so this is what a lot of people up here are still without power. Okay, and I'm blessed that I have it. But even so, today, somebody I read on Facebook, I'll just let you guys know, that they said the ice storm restoration progress. Okay. So this is what we're dealing with up here. All the ice is gone. Thank God it's all gone off my my treehouse. I had to wait for the ice to fall off too. That's another reason why I couldn't have my show last Thursday, because I still had ice on the trees, on the tree branches and everything. On the treehouse, right? We use our imagination up here. Everybody who's just jumping in doesn't know about, what's all about the show. You just use your imagination. The whole thing with having the treehouse was, when you're growing up, how we got, because people ask me, how did you get the treehouse name, Lindy's Treehouse? Well, when you're all grown up and when you're growing up and you all want to hang out, you hang out with your friends at a treehouse or a fort. And then you just hang out and have snacks and share stories and talk about life and everything. That's what this show is. We do paramotor. We talk paramotors too. When I'm still working on guests to get I get parapeeps in here, paramotor guests on here, and every once in a while. And so I'm still scoping around, but we just we just talk about life, and I just have a lot of fun with it. I do, because it doesn't necessarily have to be talking paramoting all the time. But even though I love to hear your stories and everything. So anyway, the ice storm restoration, it says 72% after starting the week with less than 1% of members on, we have achieved over 70% restoration. God bless the linemen, right? It says 1,260 miles of lines restored already. It says 25,211 members restored so far. So families, all that stuff. And 9,789 members some are still without power. And they said 360 crews in the field. And they had guys come, there were trucks going up and down the street and coming in from all over the states, every state. They came up here to help restore power. And it actually started all the way from Gaylord to here. So then, I hope this is not boring you. And then let's see, 1,293 personnel in the field. Okay, guys, working. And so we take power and internet for granted, right? And it says 1,144 broken poles replaced. We typically replace 500 poles in an entire year as part of our work plan. 1,144 poles. Is that insane or what? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So God bless the linemen, all the workers out there that are still, kicking butt, trying to get everybody's power on. It really, that's another thing to talk about, perspective. And it really, not having that for a few days, no power, right? Gosh, I remember like at nighttime, I couldn't even see, because I'm used to having my night lights on everywhere, right? And when I turned all the lights out, I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. It was crazy. So I had got these cute little lanterns from Five Below. And they're little LED lanterns, and they're super cute. And so I don't know if I showed you guys those lanterns, but anyway, you open it, you flip the lid up, and then you pull it up, and the lights inside it or whatever. And so I use that like as a night light. And I didn't even have hot water. Okay, so for 4 days I didn't even shower. It wasn't fun at all. And like I said, it really puts a lot of things in perspective, how much we take for granted. I thank God, I stayed safe. I thank God for family. I was stubborn. I didn't want to leave. And now I know better next time, because after the 4th day, it was no fun anymore. So, just remember that. Just things that now I wake up every morning, I just thank the Lord, what I have and who I have in my life and everything. Because I don't want to ever take anybody for granted. And you just got to get up in the morning and put a smile on your face and hug your loved ones and everything, right? So I'm going to start the show with accentuate the positive, because we're talking about, we're going to talk about share some stories. You can tell me your stories. I like how John was talking about the stables, how he ran the stables, and yes, you have to clean up after the horses, and horses are a lot of work, because I had horses. And my little farm. And John Wayne says, sorry guys, gotta go get some stuff out of the rain. Oh, you got rain? Oh man, you guys don't need any more rain, do you? Be safe, John, okay? Love you bunches, dude. Be safe out there. I'll be praying for you. I'm always praying for everybody. I do. I pray for everybody every day. Because you all mean the world to me. Just be kind. I always say, just be kind. Be kind to each other. I get on my show every Thursday, and I love what I do. And I just enjoy being with everybody. And I'm just happy to be here. Right? Okay. So accentuate the positive. Too often we dwell on the negatives. this weighs us down, look for the upside. See light rather than the dark side. Search for positive energy. I will transform your attitude. It will transform your attitude. It will empower you and reignite your passion. And this is my favorite part, you guys. This is my favorite part. Keep sowing your seeds, for you never know which one will grow. Perhaps they all will. So I love that. I love that. Keep sowing your seeds, for you never know which one will grow. Perhaps they all will. I think that's so true, right? I love that. I love that. Yeah, and just when I do the show, and I'm gonna, next month I'll be turning 70 years old. Okay, I don't feel like 70. I don't know what you're supposed to feel like when you're 70. I just embrace every day. I embrace my health. I really, like I said, I don't take anything for granted. I don't take you guys for granted. And all the people listening, my listeners and viewers, my lurkers, don't be shy. Hit the like button. I'm Pure Mom USA. You're at Lindy's Treehouse on Thursday night, every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. I'm right here for y'all. And I'm on Facebook. If you want to come on my show and you want to be a guest, just, DM me and say, hey, yeah, I want to be a guest on your show. And, I'll get you on there. I want to get like a weatherman on here as a guest sometime, talk about weather. And I can't remember, he was on Sean. I think we had him on Sean's show, Sean Simon. And, but I can't remember his name. But I know we had a guy on there from the Weather Channel. Remember? I think you all remember. He was like producer or something, the Weather Channel. And that was a fun show. So I like to get people like that on there. I'm still, like I said, I'm still going through Facebook, trying to find people, get my water. And look at these koozies. I ordered these too. I've got 3 of these I bought for me, and I might order some more for the show. I think they're pretty cool. Kind of looks like a giraffe, a giraffe or something. So, how's everybody doing? How was your week? How's your week going so far? Let me know in the chat. Let me know you're still there. Everybody, jump in the chat. Say hey. Say hi. Say hey. Hey ho. No, don't say hey ho. No, don't say hey ho. That doesn't sound good. See, I told you. You never know what I'm going to say next, right? You just don't know. I just say whatever at the top. Anybody, my family knows me. They never know what I'm going to say next because that's me. As I say, we don't want to say hey ho. That's not good. But hi ho or something, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So tell me how your week's been going. Tony, tell me how your week is. Angela, let me know how your weeks have been going. I already know how mine was. Boy, oh boy. Like I said, the ice storm really put a halt on everything here. I'm really sad because all the trees, there's nothing left. But nature will take its course, right? And the trees will come back. And the flowers will come back, maybe better than ever after the storm. The animals know how to thrive after the ice storms. They know where to find the food and everything. So, because we know that, right? And yeah, think about it. Just like in the Bible there, the birds, they don't worry about what they're going to eat the next day. They already know it's there. And that's kind of like the mindset we need to, we need to learn in our everyday life. Don't worry about those things, And if you are worried about it, like I always say, if you're not sure, pray about it. Pray about it. That's it. So, Tony, have you ever gone horseback riding? I want to make sure you're still here. You're still in the chat. If you've ever gone horseback riding, let me know. I'm sure Scotty Savage, he should be jumping in pretty soon, and because probably just getting off of work. And JD and Eric, if you're listening, howdy out there. Hope everything's going okay, and I'm hoping to see you at Torchport next month. I hope you're all doing okay. Yeah, I have so much to pray for and so be thankful. Oh, hey, Bill H. What's up? Bill H in the house. How are you, dear? How are you? We were just talking about the ice storms and the ice storms that I dealt with up here, and sat in the cold sat in my house for 4 days with no heat and no hot water. And like I said, it's those things that really make you put things in perspective, right? That you're so used to having the internet and having, oh my gosh, having running water and all that. It really made, yeah. By the time my sis came up here to get me, got back to her house, it was like 8:30 at night. I was exhausted. I didn't realize how much it took out of me sitting. And I should have, like I said, I should have called family days before, but as stubborn as I am, I kept thinking the power was going to come back on. But you know what? The day that I left, I forgot to tell you, the day that I left, my son said, "Oh yeah, Mom, the power came back. The power came back." But that's okay, because I was already on my way to my sis's, and I got to her house and I couldn't jump in the shower fast enough. I was exhausted. It was horrid. It was. I mean, I just stayed in bed with 4 or 5 blankets on me. I couldn't move. I didn't want to get out of bed because it was cold. And my last day when I left the house, it was 41 in my house, and that's cold. So yeah. So Ryan and Leslie, they took care of the kitty, took care of Miss Molly, and it all worked out for the best, right? Like I said, I'm very blessed with family. Today is Happy Siblings Day, and I want to give a shout out to my family, to my siblings, to Judy and Monique and Amy and John and Dennis. Those are all my siblings. And I told you guys my story that we're all adopted. My family, my siblings and I are all adopted. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And we're all still very tight. We're all still close. And I may not see them all the time, but we call each other, or we text each other and check on each other. I love you, Kimmy. Yeah, me and Kim, we always check. We always say good morning to each other and make sure everybody's doing good. And I'm glad my brother John is doing good. Thank God, praise God. He's things are looking good for him. And like I said, I pray about healing for people all the time, and God's been so faithful. He's been so faithful and all that. So I'm super, super happy about that. So yeah, Bill H., I don't have to worry about cutting the grass. Living in an apartment. I got the landlord, they take care of that stuff. I tell you what, the day that, because so many branches and trees and everything was falling in the alley right outside my window. It was kind of scary. But on the other hand, when the sun came out, like the day, it was like the third day I think I was here. No, I was leaving to go down state. So it was like 4 days, the fourth day or whatever. And the sun came out and the trees still had the icicles on it, the ice on it. And when that sun hit the trees, it was quite magical. It was quite magical. And you could hear the crackling, the trees around, around the area. And you could hear branches just falling, hitting the ground, because they had ice on them. And it was crazy. Hey, JD, I was just talking about you, girl. How are you? Tell me, put in the chat. How are you? Did you guys get ice storms over there too, JD? Because, boy, I told my story. That was sat in my house for 4 days. I was freezing, and finally my sis came and got me, and I went downstate and spent the rest of the time with her till the power came back on up here. So yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun. So I hope you guys didn't lose power over there. Hi, Scotty. Are you enjoying that koozie? I'm so glad everybody's here. So excited. Hi, Eric. I love you, man. I hope you're doing good. I've been thinking about you because Torchport's coming up at the end of next month already. So I'm hoping I'll see you guys there. I hope so. I know I'm going to see Joe Adele. Joe said he's going to be there. So let's see. Jade said storms just on and off, rain lately, and some snow in the morning, but it's always gone by noon. And just driving home yet from a doctor's appointment to get casted for a new leg next month. Oh, wow, Jade. Wow. I'll be praying for you. I'll definitely be praying for you. I know you're on TikTok a lot and everything, and I don't do TikTok. But I know where to find you, and you know where to find me. You can DM me anytime, that, and keep me posted on what's going on, because I do love you. I don't want you to think I don't care because I'm not watching, your TikTok stuff. I just don't get on it very much, because then when I start getting on there, then I get 1,000 emails every day. So let's see, appointment to get casted for a new leg next month. So which leg? Which one? The one with your footsie one, or the other leg? Which leg are they going to work on? If you don't mind me asking. Goodness. Is it the footsie leg or the other leg? I'm just glad. I'm going to be praying for you that everything goes good on that part. Goodness. That this way you can walk again. Yeah, she's hopefully, I know. Is it your footsie leg? Is it your footsie leg or your other one? Is it your other leg that they're working on? You got so much on your plate, girl. I love you. You inspire me. You're like the strongest person ever. Strongest person ever. I'm just, man. Okay. Well, definitely keep me posted. Yeah. I want to know I want to know how everything's going with you. Like I said, I don't get on TikTok much, and but I think about you every day, and I think about Eric every day too. And I'm glad you guys got to get your little road trips in. That's pretty fun. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Jade, I don't know if you. I was talking about when we had the ice storms, and when my power went off at the, because some people are just jumping in. The power went off the end of I was March 30th, a Sunday morning, my power went off. And I stayed here for almost 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. I stayed here 4 days with no heat, no hot water. Ryan didn't have hot water either. He ended up having to run his house on a generator, and his power just came on a couple days ago. So he had no power longer than I did. And I was saying, Ryan and Leslie kept saying, Ryan said finally on that Tuesday when he could tell I was just getting anxiety big time and giving him anxiety because they'd worry about me when they go back home, me being in the house cold, being in the cold house and all that stuff. So I was pretty stubborn. I didn't want to leave because I kept thinking the power was going to come back on, which it didn't. And so he said, hey, why don't you call your sis? And, they can come get you. And then my first reaction was, oh no, it's okay. I don't want to impose, blah, 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 and Ryan's like, no, we're going to call your sis. Because when my family would call me, I pretend like everything was all cool, and it really wasn't. So they didn't think anything of it because I never asked. And so I got my butt chewed for that. Yeah, Jade. Try being like 4 days with no power. I had no power. I had no water, no hot water. So I couldn't shower for 4 days. So by the time my sis drove from downstate to my sis in Howland came and her husband came up here and got me. And so I stayed there from Tuesday all the way to Sunday. And then Ryan and Leslie, my son Ryan, came and drove down and picked me up and brought me home. So it was quite something I wouldn't wish on anybody. I was like in bed like for 4 days. I had covers, because in the apartment and all that, I would have 4 or 5 blankets on me. I didn't want to get out of bed. I was eating peanut butter sandwiches because I couldn't really cook on anything. And my son did offer to give me brought a propane heater over, and we sat around talked. And I said I didn't feel comfortable having propane in the apartment. Understandably, I don't even like the smell of it. And and he didn't even have power either, Jade. And like I said, his power just came back on a couple days ago. So talk about stress, right? He had a lot on his plate. We stopped by his house, and it's sad. All the birch trees are down, all his birch trees. And then when you drive around, wow, Jade, you wouldn't even recognize it up here. It's bad. We got here really bad, and there's still a lot of people are still without power up here. But God bless the linemen and the power companies and everything. Hi, Walter. Walter, how are you, Sugar? We got Walter in the chat. Thank you, Walter. Yeah, come on, everybody. Come on up to the Treehouse. We're just hanging out tonight and talking. I'm telling my story, and you guys can, we can do tell story night. And my theme of the night was we all have a story to tell. And so tonight, this was my story. Scuba, hey, I can't hear a thing at Blake Shelton's bar, Old Red. Oh, cool, Scuba. Oh, that's cool. I'm so jealous. Oh my gosh, you guys, you must be having fun. That is cool. Yeah, you can watch the show later, Scuba. I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself anyway. Yeah, you can see Scuba's got a wrench. It was just one of those nights that he helped me figure out how to give him a wrench. So, yeah. But I got some cool peeps in here. And we know Walter's in the house, and we know that it's already tomorrow because Walter from Australia is in the house. Yes. with the koalas. He brought the koalas. I love the koala bear that he gave me, and Jay got a koala years ago. Scuba says some band called Whiskey Cash and Roses. Man, I miss listening to country music bands. I love it. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. You better, Scuba, are you going to take us, bring home souvenirs from that place? Like cup? Do they have like a souvenir shop or something, and you can get cups or whatever, drink cups or something from there, or mugs, coffee mugs or something? That's pretty cool. I've never been to Nashville. Maybe it will go someday. It's not that far, not like that far. That'd be cool. I would love to. I would love to go to Nashville. I would love to do that. But so it's been kind of a crazy 2 weeks. Yeah. I'm just glad it's over with. And that's why last Thursday I wasn't here. I was at my sis's. So reason being, because I wasn't back up here yet. But I did get my internet, finally got my internet back on Tuesday. Only because I made a phone call. Because who's going to do it for you? Nobody. So I made the phone call and I said, hey, still don't have internet. And a rep came out and a technician came out and looked at everything and put new cable wires in outside the house. And and he got everything going. It only took him like an hour or so. So I was pretty excited about that. And let's see. Scuba says, I should have internet tomorrow night. I will give a show a shot. Have fun. Gotta run. Okay, have fun, Scuba. Bye, Munchkin. Love you. You have fun, kiddos. They're fun. They are so fun. I'm glad they're enjoying themselves. They deserve it. Munchkin and Scooby-Doo has a show on Friday nights, everybody, Scuba Vapes. So make sure you check it out. But yeah, if you're all just tuning in, I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse. And I'm your host, Paramount USA. So that name kind of just, I'm glad I picked that name a couple years ago. And I got all my peeps in the house. I'm super stoked. And I've got Bill H. I got Jade, Just Want to Fly. We got Walter. We got Anthony. Marzano, Mr. Vegas in the house. Scuba jumped in for a little bit and said hi. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Scotty. Scotty's in the house. So I'm glad Scotty's enjoying his cute, koozie. Aren't these cool, Jade? I'm going to be giving koozies away during my show. I just have to get more creative, like what kind of, what to, I always have guessing games. I make guessing games. And usually I'll just say, I'll talk about stuff during the show, and then I'll say, and I'll pick out a word, and then you guys have to guess what word that I wrote down, that we talked about in the show. And Scott says, got sucked into reading a thing on Facebook, but I've been listening to. Okay, that's all right. I'm glad you're here, Scotty. I'm glad you're here. We can do, you guys want to play what's our favorite game we play every, I got to find my notes here. The fun facts, right? We play fun facts. So let me see. I'm getting all over the place here as usual. I appreciate all my chatters being here tonight. Yes, I have my book, and we're going to talk about. Did you know? Did you know that? Okay, so you guys are all chit-chatting here. And let me see. I got to follow this here. Oops. Tony. Oh, somebody just had a question. Okay. Yeah. So I wrote some things down because last week I think we had fun facts and we pretty much talked about everything, animals and trees and whatnot. Right. Last week was fun. So this week we're doing fun food facts. Fun food facts. Fun food. So FFF. Fun food facts. If you say that fast 3 times, right? Fun food facts. All right. So, all right, we're going to start here. Did you know? All right, y'all listening now? Okay, because we're going to, you got to listen to everything. And then I'm going to ask you questions later, what we talked about or what word came to your mind or whatever. So, and then you win if you guess what word that I picked out for the night, then you win a koozie. And like I said, I've got some more koozies coming, and they're tie-dye koozies. They're super cute. So I got some more of them coming, and so y'all be pretty excited about it. So then you have a choice, either tie-dye koozie or you have this, and which will come really handy in the summer. These are really pretty nice. I got them on Amazon. So I buy like 6 at a time or whatever, see if I like them. I don't want to go too crazy yet, but they're inexpensive, and everybody likes a koozie for the summer, right? See? So, and then real quick before we get on the did you know facts, fun facts, every week I kind of bring out a painting, and I've done paintings. I used to paint a lot, but I kind of quit painting. But this is one of my abstract paintings that I did. Can you see it? Tell me if you can see it, or if I need to move it either this way, like that. Can you guys see it? But actually, the painting looks like this. It's abstract-y. I just pulled this out. I don't have room to hang half my pictures, so it's like sitting in my closet right now. But it kind of, I don't know, kind of reminds me of kind of the ice storms that we had. I don't really have a name for the painting, but the fun thing about it is I'm better at abstract, and you can do so much with blending with brushes. So many different brushes and so many things you can do with it, and just create your own, your own painting and colors and all that. And it's pretty cool. And you don't have to spend a fortune on paintings either. But I learned that people, they look at the paintings, everybody looks at the painting and sees something different. And I think that's really cool. Some may think that looks, I don't know, like a bunch of people hiding behind trees or something, Storm is a good name. Okay. Yeah, I kind of pulled that out of the closet. I'm like, I forgot about that. And I thought, so every week I'll share one of my paintings with you guys that I've done in the past. And I got a bunch hanging in my bedroom, a bunch of paintings in my bedroom. And I learned, never underestimate yourself, what you're capable of. Just Want to Fly said, have a nice night. I just crawled down the tree. Oh, you're so cute. I love you. Have a nice night. I just crawled down the tree. Need to get in the house and get some stuff done. Have a good night. All right, JD. I love you. Love you, Eric. JD, you keep, you call me or message me anytime, okay? Because I always pick your brain on different things to do on the show. So I love you bunches, girl. You be safe. Keep me posted what's going on, all right? Let's see. Scott says, looked like an overhead view of trees with snow around them. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. And Blue from Dusk. All right. Cool. Yeah. I didn't even have a name. I didn't have a name for that painting either. I looked on the back. Usually I put the date, and then a name on it or whatever, name the painting, but I didn't even do that. So I'll definitely, I'll definitely write something on the back. I'm pretty sure I did that one in 2022, because I moved in my apartment in 2021. But like I said, the history of the paintings is I didn't even know I knew how to paint. And like I said, I moved here in 2021, and February, New Year's Day, 2022, my daughter-in-law said, "Why don't you come over? We're going to paint." So, and I'm like, paint? I don't know how to paint. Whatever, And I did my first painting, and I loved it so much. I enjoyed it so much that 50 some paintings later, right? And I get spackle. I do spackle painting too. And spackling is really fun to work with because it's thick, it looks pink, but it comes out when you put it on, when you spackle whatever, and you took the what do you call that? What's the spackle thing you spackle with? What do you call that? You guys got to help me here. So you grab that tool and you just, dip it in the spackle, and you can just spread it or do whatever you want and make all different designs and whatnot. And then it dries white. So you let it dry overnight, and then you paint it whatever colors you want. So you can do all kinds of do all kinds of things with it. Yeah. Putty knife. Thank you, Bill. Yes, putty knife. Good answer. Thank you. I couldn't think what it was. Yeah, use a putty knife or, something that looks like a putty knife with all my painting stuff, and have fun with it. So that's what like I said, never underestimate what you're capable of doing, right? I never thought I could paint, and now I know I can. And it's very rewarding because I can say I did that. And you guys see on Facebook, I put paintings on Facebook a lot too. So my different paintings, I just share some of my stuff, but I'm more abstract-y. I'm not real good at doing drawings, but I try anyway. So, okay. So we're going to do fun facts. Okay. And it's called Did You Know? Because, last week we did Bill H., you remember last week we did the fun facts, and we talked about trees and all kinds of stuff, and some animals. Tonight we're doing food facts, fun food facts. Okay. So it says here, bananas are berries, but strawberries are not. And honey can last for 1,000 years. Did you know that honey can last for 1,000 years? I had no idea. Who would have guessed, right? Scott says, all the art I used to do was abstract. I also get into calligraphy and lettering for a bit. Oh, that's great. My mother-in-law at the time, she used to do that at her senior center. They had classes, calligraphy classes. I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong. But every time she'd write Christmas cards to us, that's how she would write it, in that calligraphy with that fancy, weird-looking pen. Isn't it a pen that you have to like dip the pen in the ink or something, and you write things down? I think that's how it is. I think that's how it works. Anyway, all right. So bananas are berries, but strawberries are not, and honey can last for 1,000 years. Now it says here berries. Okay, so Walter used to work in the produce. So it says berries, bananas, tomatoes, and kiwis are all technically berries, while strawberries and raspberries are not. Oh yeah, the cartridge pen. Yeah, Scott says the cartridge pen. That's right. Oh, I remember those in school. Who in the heck invented cartridge pens? Boy, those made a mess. And I remember coming home and I'd have that ink on my, on my uniform. Because going to Catholic school, we use those freaking cartridge pens. Oh yeah, I had the blue of my belching here. I had those little cartridges, they had put in there. And if you broke one or whatever, you'd have all that ink all over your hands and everything, and it was a mess. But it says berries. It says bananas, tomatoes, and kiwis are all technically berries, while strawberries and raspberries are not. Interesting. So, well, I never thought a kiwi as a berry or banana and tomatoes as a berry. Did you guys? Let's hear some feedback here. Berries, bananas, tomatoes, and kiwis are all technically berries, while strawberries and raspberries are not. That's interesting. So I had no idea. And so let me hear your feedback in the chat, because I'm very excited about this. Did you know facts? Yes. Did you know that? See, I said a funny. I'm very excited. Yes. Anyway, it says So it says technically berries, while strawberries and raspberries are not. Okay. So the next one, we'll go on to the next one. Oh yeah, Walter says tomato is a fruit. You're right. You're right, Walter. Yeah, because it says bananas, tomatoes, and kiwis are all typically berries, while strawberries and raspberries are not. This is what I love about doing these fun facts, because I learn something every week. And I love sharing this with you. I think this is really cool. And Scott says, I have a food fact most people don't know. What is it, Scott? Scott said he has a food fact. Tell me, Scott, what's your food fact that most people don't know? Scott says nightshade is a family of plants that include tomatoes, eggplant, potatoes, and peppers. Tobacco is also in the nightshade family. How'd they come up with nightshade? How'd they come up with that name? That's so odd. Nightshade is a family of plants. Interesting, Scott. That is very interesting. Wow. Nightshade is a family of plants. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. Thank you for your input, everybody. I appreciate it. They all contain solanine. Solanine? Sounds like what is solanine? Sounds like a chemical or something. Am I saying it right? Solanine? Who would have known that that honey can last for 1,000 years? So you can buy that. You can go and buy that honey, and the honey, you buy your jar of honey, and it'll outlive you, right? And Walter says, never heard that, Scott. Yeah, you can buy a jar of honey, and the honey will outlive you. My goodness, huh? That's crazy. Okay, we're going to the next one. Next one says peanuts. Despite their name, peanuts are called, and I don't know how to pronounce it, legumes, not nuts. So peanuts are not nuts. They're legumes. A chemical that if you ingest too much can make you sick. Oh, if you eat a bunch of green potatoes, you can get sick. Ugh. No, thank you. Yeah, peanuts. It says peanuts, just despite their name, peanuts are legumes, not nuts. Legumes. Thank you. Okay. See, I learned something every day. My pronunciation is not the best, but you guys still love me, so I didn't know that. Yeah, so peanuts are, and what exactly are legumes. Scott, give me your input on that. How do they come up with the name of legumes? Legumes. Legumes. Oh, I'm glad that you guys kind of put it in there, Yes. No idea. Okay. All right, we're going to go on to the next one. Pineapple. This is interesting. Okay, we're going to talk about pineapples. Did you know that a pineapple is actually a cluster of multiple fruits that grow from many flowers that join together? And I didn't know that. Scott says, but they are the name of nuts, aka seeds. Yes. Oh, beans of a type. Okay. Yeah, pineapple. A pineapple is actually a cluster of multiple fruits that grow from many flowers that join together. How much do you think a pineapple weighs? And are pineapples all the same size? Pretty much, and they fall off the trees. Does anybody know? I would have to Google that too. Didn't know that about pineapple. See, look at, isn't this cool? I mean, who would want to jump in the chat and listen to the fun facts every week? Because we learn something all together. And I love that. And that's what makes my show unique, because we talk about fun things. And I like to do the fun facts every week. I think that's not my thing. Because there's so much out there, to talk about. Yeah, so pineapple is actually a cluster of multiple fruits that grow from many flowers that join together. And I just know pineapple, I think, like the outside is really hard from what it looks like. And I wonder how much they weigh, how much maybe when somebody can Google it, how much a pineapple weighs. Walter says, Teacher Linda. That's right. I learned like with you guys, see, because Scott said he didn't know that about. He said, Scott says, and I love me some pineapple, but it does not go on pizza. Yeah, you know what? I used to make Hawaiian chili. And so it'd be sweet and spicy. And I'd put pineapples in my chili. I don't know if you ever tried that, you guys. It's pretty good. Pineapple, yeah. Hawaiian chili, we called it. And I used to make that a lot with the pineapples in it. Gives a good taste. Really cool taste. It wouldn't be for everybody, but I like it. All right, we're going to talk popcorn. Popcorn pops because each kernel contains a small amount of water, which turns steam when heated. So did you know that? Did you know that popcorn pops because each kernel contains a small amount of water, which turns steam when heated? That is interesting. Scott says there's local Thai food place that does pineapple fried rice. I'm not big on fried rice. Never have been. A lot of people, they like fried rice and all that, cooking that, but I'm not big on that. And Scott says, yep, the kernel explodes and turns inside out. All right, everybody put in there. Who remembers Jiffy Pop? Who remembers Jiffy Pop? I remember Jiffy Pop. I mean, how safe could that be, right? Cooking Jiffy Pop on the stove, right? I can just see it, the little handle on there. And I don't even know if they still sell that. I don't even know if that'd be safe to use anymore. But you go like this, little handle. Yes. Walter says he doesn't remember Jiffy Pop. Yeah. Who remembers? Yeah, the tinfoil thing with the handle. Yeah, Scott. That's it. Crazy, right? Yeah, that was a big deal. In case you guys are all just joining, or you're lurking, or listening. Welcome. I'm Paramount USA. I'm your host. Paramount USA every Thursday night, 8 o'clock, right here. And we do Lindy's Treehouse. We are in Lindy's Treehouse. Y'all climb up every Thursday. We all hang out. We tell stories. We talk about whatever, whatever we want to talk about. And sometimes the subjects go this way, sometimes they go that way. And we have a good time. We really do. And I'm so glad that you're all here. And I'm so glad that you are listening. Scott says, my mom just put popcorn in a pot with a bit of oil and put a lid on it. Yeah, I remember that too, Scott. And then after that, they came out with the popcorn makers. And you can find those popcorn makers sometimes at the thrift stores now, too. So it's pretty interesting. Okay, so did you know that, we're going to go on to the next one. Almonds are seeds, not nuts. Did you know that? Almonds are seeds? And almonds say, I'm an almond. I'm not a nut. I'm not nuts. I'm an almond. Almonds are seeds, not nuts, it says. Who would have guessed, right? Almonds. Almonds they're okay. I think I only like almonds like on coffee cake. I'm not one to just sit there and eat almonds, but I'm sure they're really good for you, right? Almonds, really good. Scott says, yep, put butter in the tray on top of it and melts while popping. Well, now they have all this fancy popcorn, kettle corn. I love kettle corn. Go to the county fairs or to the rodeos or whatever. And Scott says, I miss eating pistachios. Why don't you, why can't you eat them? Eat pistachios, Scott. I never could eat those. It'd break my teeth. They're kind of hard to eat. I don't even eat cashews. I love cashews, but they get stuck in my teeth and all that. Need teeth to do that. Yeah. Well, I don't do the pistachios because I would probably break something, my tooth or whatever. Yeah, they're pretty hard. And I don't even do the cashews either. Because the cashews, they don't like my tummy that much. So, but they're so good. Cashews are so good. Even to have like banana bread with nuts in it. It's like, nah. Scott said, let's see. I'm missing if pistachios need teeth. Scott says, and don't do dentures. That's funny. Okay, so the next one is margarine. It says margarine used to be dyed pink due to pressure from dairy lobby. Whatever dairy lobby is, I have no idea. So margarine used to be dyed pink due to pressure from dairy lobby. I don't know what that means, but I don't remember the margarine being pink. I don't even know. I should have looked it up. When did they come out with margarine? Because remember, I grew up with Land O'Lakes butter, the sticks, right? The sticks. What was some other butter sticks I grew up with? But I remember the Land O'Lakes is what my parents used to buy all the time. And then for some stupid reason, remember they took the Indian off the front of the Land O'Lakes. And that's something we'll hit on next time was how they, everybody, we went through the year, everybody was offended by everything, right? They took Aunt Jemima away and all kinds of stuff we grew up with. So stupid. Scott says they sent real butter to the troops. Maybe. So my kitty must have heard something because she just jumped down. I'm just looking at Miss Molly. Oh, she's getting something to eat. So because she knows 9:30, she gets her treat, but she just had a treat. So about a couple hours ago, or whatever. Anyway, and then it says saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. I didn't know that. Saffron. Scott says, my grandma said it came white, and it came with a thing to dye it yellow. Oh, wow. Wow. Amazing. Things that you take for granted, like that you ate growing up, you didn't think where did all this come from, right? Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. I don't exactly know what saffron is. Does anybody know what saffron? Saffron? What that is? I didn't even know that was a spice. So we're reading all kinds of these fun facts. I can even Google how much a pineapple weighs and what saffron is. I don't know what saffron is. So we go like this. What saffron? See what it says. Okay, it says saffron is a spice derived from dried stigmas, red thread-like structures of the crocus. It comes from a flower, commonly known as saffron crocus, and is prized for its vibrant color, unique flavor, and used as seasoning and coloring agent in food. So that's interesting. It says saffron imparts a golden color and subtle, sweet, earthy flavor to dishes. It says saffron is used as a spice, food coloring, and traditional medicine. They said saffron is one of the most expensive spices in the world due to labor-intensive harvesting process and small yield per plant. Well, who would have guessed, right? Saffron, yes. So now we know about saffron. Now, this isn't a fun fact, and Will Fly, if Will Fly was listening, and I'll share this next week with him, this would be a fun fact. I think Will Fly would be impressed. How many know, when was the ice cream cone invented? Does anybody know? The ice cream cone was invented during the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. Is that crazy? Oh my gosh. I skipped a page here. I knew I had more. Okay. Yeah, I still got one more page. Ice cream was invented during the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. Ice cream cones, I should say. Yeah, so ice cream cones have been around a long time. That's pretty cool. Scott says they sent real butter to the tree. Yeah, I read that already. Sorry. I keep checking the chat, whatever. Make sure y'all hitting the like button, and even if you're just watching and you're lurking on Thursday night and just listening, all that stuff, be sure, subscribe and hit that like button, peeps. I love that. I love to see that you're all watching, and I really appreciate it. I look forward to looking at, seeing what the views and all that, how many views I have every week. And I'm just having super fun with it. And I just love what I do. And I love having you guys here every week. And like I said, it's not a competition. I just get on here on Thursday nights, and I just love being with everybody and sharing different things. And we share stories, and I share my crazy stories and all that. So, it's fun. It keeps my brain going, and I get to see everybody every week and check in on all my peeps and all that stuff. Let's see. So we'll go on to the next one. This is kind of a fun fact. Now the vanilla, okay. So this is a fact about vanilla flavoring. And I don't think that I would want to, I don't even know if I can even go there with this, what they said, where the vanilla comes from. I mean, if you Google it, the fun facts of vanilla, it says it comes from, the vanilla is made by beavers. I'm kid you not. The vanilla flavoring is in some food comes from something made by the beavers. So it's gross. Yeah. So I don't know how. I'd have to really research that. He said it comes from a castoreum, which is a chemical derived from beavers' glands around there. Yeah, I didn't want to quite say what they said, the word, That's pretty, that's so gross. Wow, Scott. Thanks for sharing that. See, you never know what we're going to talk about. Vanilla bean. I don't know where vanilla bean comes from. I'm not sure about the vanilla bean, but I used to like vanilla bean ice cream. It's pretty good. But yeah, vanilla flavoring comes from the beaver. Artificial vanilla, yes. Madagascar, yeah. So on to the next one. Wonder if that's the same thing like vanilla. So Scott, is that like vanilla flavoring? Is that the same thing that's in the ice cream, vanilla ice cream? I know, Walter, right? Me neither. I don't even know if is that in vanilla ice cream, because it just says where the vanilla comes from. That's pretty gross. I told you, you jump in the treehouse with everybody. We all hang out. You never know what we're going to talk about. It's pretty funny. It is. And you all can, I'm missing my other peeps in here tonight, but I know people are at fly-ins and doing stuff or whatever, but I know you guys will listen, everybody will listen later, but I love you chatters. And I'm glad you're here tonight, because now see, the more people that are in here, or the less people, you have more of a chance to win a koozie tonight or a sticker. So some of you, like Scott won a koozie last week. So it's pretty cool. So the more people that jump on the chat, you might have a chance to win something tonight. It's pretty fun. So anyway, I love giving stuff away. I do. And I'm going to get more creative with my little prizes. But I think koozies is a good thing for the summer. I think that'll be really fun. Okay, so we're going to go on to figs. Because let's see, we're at 9. We're almost at 10 o'clock. So we're doing really good tonight. I'm so glad that you're all here tonight. Figs. I love Fig Newtons. I like Fig Newton cookies. But the Fig Newtons really don't like me anymore. Ever since I had my colonoscopy a couple years ago. I don't know. It bothers my stomach now. So, yeah, things that you used to be able to eat, or maybe just an age thing. I don't know. But figs are actually flowers. Did you know that? And many figs have at least one. Okay, this is pretty gross. Okay, this is another fun fact for figs. And I didn't know this either, but I'm just reading what I read on the fun facts. Figs are actually flowers, and many figs have at least one dead wasp trapped inside. No wonder I had such a stomach ache when I ate maybe I ate too many fig cookies. Yeah, it says right here. It says figs are actually flowers, and many figs have at least one dead wasp trapped inside. Scott says figs can contain the body of a wasp, as only ripe figs are picked. And Scott said something about vanilla beans or something. Let me see. Let's see. I'm never having vanilla again. LOI, I've no Googled these. I knew them. You already knew about the figs? Ugh. Figs can contain the body of a wasp, as only ripe figs are picked. Ugh. I'm never eating a fig again either. That just the idea of having a wasp inside my Fig Newton. Jeez. And then another one is, and we're going to do this next week too. The last one is historical and cultural facts. The oldest known cookbook dates back to the 1700s BC. That's cool, huh? Yeah, the oldest known cookbook dates back to 1700. So we learned about margarine. Oh, wait, I got another one. Oh, wow. See? This is the last one, everybody. This last one. Talk about lasagna, where the name lasagna came from. It says the name lasagna comes from laganan, a Greek noodle. Italians were certainly involved in the promotion of lasagna. So the name lasagna comes from Laganon, Laganon, a Greek noodle. Italians were certainly involved in the promotion of lasagna. Walter said, Linda, if you keep going, we're going to lose weight. No eating, no. We talked about figs and margarine and wasps and pineapples and bananas and like all kinds of fun facts tonight, everybody. See, and I write all my fun facts in here. And then next week we'll have new fun facts. Yeah, I wish Will Fly was here tonight because we could tell about the ice cream. When the ice cream was invented. So pretty cool. So yeah, so I don't know, you guys tell me some I can even get on here and see how much does a pineapple weigh. Let's see. I have to learn how to talk into this phone here so I don't have to type everything. How much does a pineapple weigh? Let's see. See my other phone, I could talk into it, but I know how to do it. Okay, so the pineapple, after cutting and removing the inedible parts, skin, core, and crown, a typical pineapple yields about 52% of its original weight in edible fruit. So how much do you think? Okay, I'm gonna okay, whoever guesses this, whoever guesses how much a pineapple weighs, and don't cheat. I don't want you to Google it. Don't cheat. Okay. Whoever guesses how much they think a pineapple weighs will win a koozie tonight. So put in the chat. Let's see. Walter said 2 to 5 pounds. Scott said 5 pounds. 1 to 2. 2 to 5 pounds. Close, but no cigar. You got to be like right on it. So it's not 2 to 5 pounds. Okay. Walter's pretty close. He's pretty close. So 2 to 5 pounds. All right, Walter. Okay, Scott. Yes. Scott got it. 3 pounds. But Scott, you already have a koozie. So, and I think you already have a sticker, right? So maybe wait till I get my other koozies in the mail. But yeah, Scott got it. Pig to Walter. Okay. Walter, you won. Walter won a koozie. So how much is it going to cost me to mail you a koozie to Australia, Walter? How much? This is the new American flag koozies. Walter wins the koozie. So Walter, you'll have to DM me your address. And I can send you, hold on to it, Linda. Okay. All right. Walter can put it on the bottle of VB. All right. I'll hang on to it, Walter. I'll hang on to it. Yes. So Walter wins. Congratulations. Walter wins the the koozie. So, yeah, I thought I'd do a real quick game because, we don't have a whole lot of people in the chat tonight. So I thought I would just throw it out there to do something quick. And yeah, so the average, the standard pineapple typically weighs between 2 and 3 pounds. So that's pretty cool. So we learned a lot of fun facts tonight. We did. And like I said, it's been all in all this week. Later, I want a sticker for history. Okay. All right. Okay, Walter. Walter said later I want a sticker for history. But JD stopped by and Scott said send him a sticker then. Yeah, I can do that too. Yeah, Walter, he doesn't have a sticker. Walter knows where to find me, so he can send me his address or whatever, or I'll get the address and get a sticker out to you too. See, get a sticker. But yeah, I have more koozies coming in a couple days, and they're tie-dye koozies. So we'll be giving those, giving some away next week. And once I get these koozies, my koozie collection going, then I can get one or two out on a show sometimes. But I have to get more creative with my games, the games and all that stuff. But I'm just having fun with it, the way it is. But I'm glad that you all stopped by tonight. Anybody's listening, like I said, I'm Paramount USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse, and I am here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. And I always look forward to seeing all my chatters. And if you're listening and lurking and all that stuff, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And just enjoy. And you can watch the show later too, and see what we talked about. And we talk about pretty much everything, right? You never know what we're going to talk about in the chat. And I just really enjoy everybody. And Scott says you got one thing going. You send presents, unlike Scuba. Oh, wait till Scuba. Well, Scuba does the pen thing. We got to talk Scuba into making some stickers, right? Yeah, I had to get creative, and that's why I went with the koozies, because they're easy to mail out. And Scott got his pretty quick, and it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to mail these. So I enjoy giving things away, and summertime's coming up, so why not, right? Give away some koozies, because we all like koozies. Got to keep your beer warm and your sodies cold. Keep your sodies cold. I call them sodies. I guess in the Midwest we call it pop, right? Growing up, I always said pop. We're going to have a pop. And we drank we didn't have the cans. We had bottles of Pepsi, right? Glass bottles. Scott says Sean Cochran, aka Creed, is the one sending pens. If it was Scuba, no one would get them. Yeah, because Scuba loses everything. He always loses stuff. But he can't defend himself right now, So we got to be nice to Scuba. He has a show on, Scuba's got a show on Friday night, Scuba Vapes at 8 o'clock. And it's fun. We just get on there and talk about everything. Scuba and Munchkin, his lovely fiance. She's beautiful. I love Munchkin. And then she's so spunky. I just love her spunkiness. She's beautiful. And Walter says koozie and sticker in an envelope should not cost much. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I can get that to you. I call it pop. I thought east of the Mississippi was called soda. Yeah, in Arizona we called it. Sodies. I call them sodies. A sody pop. Yeah, in Arizona we were sodies, and in the Midwest we call them. It was pop. Yeah, everybody grab a pop, and then we always had Pepsi in the house, if I remember. And I think maybe it was the back then. Did they have the big liter bottles then? Maybe it was the liter bottles. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Pepsi bottles that we drank out of. I don't know. I remember the milk. They weren't milk cartons. They were milk bottles. And they were glass, which made no sense to me. You know, in the summer, right? In the humidity, the glass sweats, and you grabbing that out of the fridge to have your milk and cereal, and the thing would slip out of your hands, you know, the gallon, half gallon milk things or whatever, slip out of your hands and all that. So those were the days, right? But yeah, like I said, I'm just happy to be here tonight. I made it through the ice storms, and it's quite crazy how the ice storms start. Scott says the 1 liters got popular when I was a kid here in Idaho. Okay, yeah. See, because Scott, you're the same age as my son. Yeah. So I'm gonna hang in here a little bit. See if Gypsy jumps in to say hi. She's probably busy. Most was 16-ounce glass bottles. Yeah. Something else. What was I going to? I was going to look something up. Oh, I know what I was going to look up. I was reading some things on, let's see. Here we go. Ice storms. Who knows how ice storms start? Ice storms are no fun. You know, just rain coming down, and then it gets so cold that it just freezes on the trees and stuff. And now all the trees up here are so bare. It's so sad. So sad. Lost so many trees, so many beautiful trees. But Mother Nature will bring them back, right? So, yeah, the wind. Yeah, we had, yeah, the wind, the ice storms were, we had the wind and the rain and then the deep freeze. And the last ice storm I remember was 1979. Maybe 1978, something like that. I was, Robert wasn't even born yet. And I was living in, had a nice little house in Detroit. And I remember we had a cute little bungalow house, and we slept upstairs, and those trees and the ice, you know, the branches were hitting the top of the roof. And it was kind of kept hitting the top of the house, you know, and it was kind of scary. So we stayed in the camper, put the propane on, and stayed in the camper for the night because we had no power, you know, and all that stuff. So I remember that. Scott says dirt in the clouds tumbles and collects water until it's heavy enough to come down. And if the air is warmer below, it melts and can refreeze as it lands. And Walter says dew points is on the ground. Very good. Good facts here. Fun facts, you guys. I love that. Yeah, you guys are awesome. See, we learned a lot. We really learned a lot tonight. We really did. I wrote something else here because we always close the show. No, I didn't write it. I've got it in my book here. Because we're going to it's already just 10 o'clock. So I know the gentleman downstairs, he gets up for work. So I'm going to read my little quote thing that I read out of the book, and then we'll say goodnight. Okay. I appreciate every one of you hanging with me tonight. You're all so loyal, and I love it. Scott says, I don't watch dumb TV. I watch YouTube and watch mostly educate. Yeah, that's all I watch is YouTube. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, because I stream everything. I don't have cable. And when football season, I just go to my son's and watch football on Sundays. So, okay. So this is kind of cool. So I'm going to read this to you guys. Okay. And Hey, what is going on? Untamed Fitness is in the house. I'm doing good. How are you? Oh my gosh, Chris. Oh my gosh, my buddy Chris. Thank you for jumping on. Oh my gosh, I'm doing good. I survived the ice storm. Thank you for checking on me. Wow, I can't wait till summer where I can see y'all in the mornings again and we do the workouts. He's my peep from Arizona, you guys. Chris, he's a personal trainer and he's awesome. So everybody say hi to Chris. He's the coolest ever. So please, everybody say hi to Chris in the chat. Untamed Fitness. That's so cool that you came by. Yeah, it's me. There you go. See, you're used to me being in the chat, and I'm always in the chatty chat on Facebook Live. So I hope you're going to keep doing that, Chris, during the week, because keep me motivated, keep me working out, start working out again. Because yeah, we had that ice storm, and my power was off for like 4 days, and longer than that, maybe. Yeah, it was 4 days. I was up here, Chris, and I ended up going downstate to my sis's about the 4th day because I was freezing. It was like 41 in my house, and my son didn't have power either. And there's a lot of people that still don't have power. So yeah, so it was pretty crazy. And I just came back. Just came back on Sunday for my sis's. So I stayed with them. Family's the best. Yeah, I kept staying, in the house because I was like, oh, the power's going to come back on. And of course it never did. So it didn't, the day that I left, the 4th day when I finally left and my sis came and got me, the power came back on. But I just stayed down there and I stayed warm and all that stuff. So how are you doing, Chris? Untamed Fitness. See, when I saw that in the chat, I was like, I know who that is. Oh my gosh. I was so excited. I almost forgot your name, Chris. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. That made my night. It did. That made my night. I'm glad you stopped in to say hi. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button, Chris. Absolutely subscribe to my channel and jump in on Thursday nights. I'm here every Thursday. My peeps know. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, and that's what it's about. This is Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramount USA, and I'm here every Thursday night, and we all hang out and we talk about a lot of stuff. I do fun facts. Tonight we did fun food facts. Did you know? We talk about that. We talk about Walter from Australia. He said, I hunt bears. Scott, he hunts kangaroos. And John Wayne, Cowboys in the house. Bill H says, hi, hey, Untamed Fitness. Oh, yeah. He's a fitness trainer. And Chris is awesome. And he got me motivated all last summer to do all my walks. So, yeah, once everything starts clearing up, maybe another month, I'll be able to finally get out and get back to walk to the bayfront. But right now, it's not very safe to walk out there right now. They're still cleaning up the trees and everything that came down. And yeah, that was no fun. No fun at all. But make sure you catch my show on Thursdays. Okay. And Thursday nights, 8:00 right here, Lindy's Treehouse. And we all just hang out, tell stories, and just check in on each other. And it's pretty cool. Night, John. Night, Cowboy. Love you, man. Take care of you, okay? I'm so glad that you stopped by tonight. We'll have the whole crew back here next week, next Thursday, because everybody's doing stuff tonight and everything. And thank you, chatters. I had Anthony stop by, and we had Bill H stop by. My sister-in-law, she stopped by to say hi. My son Robert came by tonight. And Just Want to Fly, JD and Eric, they stopped by to say hi in the Treehouse. And yeah, I had to wait I couldn't do my show last Thursday because my treehouse still had still had icicles on it, and I wouldn't have been very safe for you guys to come up, come up in the treehouse, sit in the. It wouldn't have been very safe to sit up in the treehouse with icicles falling on your head, right? So, yeah, Robert was in the chat earlier, Walter, but he was eating dinner and he had the grandbabies. My great grandbabies were over at the house. So, and Molly says hi. She says 10 o'clock. It's time to call it a night. So I'm going to read this really quick, okay? Because Molly's telling me it's time to shut it down. Okay. All right. So and if Chris, you're still listening, I always read something at the end of the show. So I'm going to get on this real quick here. So Molly doesn't jump on my laptop or whatever. When you do the things you do with love, you give life a gleam that most people only carry a glimpse of. Your attitude affects the outcome of so many things. Smile inspires smiles. Reaching out brings people in. Looking on the bright side doesn't entail being naive and donning rose-colored glasses. It simply means leaving the cynicism and complaining to someone else, someone who will spend their whole life wondering why good things don't come their way, because they all, they get in their pity party, I guess. Being a positive person, someone who looks forward to so much, is not only rewarding, it's refreshing. The wisest people on earth are those who have had a hard time recalling their worries and an easy time remembering their blessings. So this is my favorite. I love this. So yeah, that's what I do, Chris. At the end of every show, I start opening up with something, and then I close it with something for everybody to take with them for the night, for the week, and everything. So life is what you make it. That's right. That's right, Walter. And please, share that smile. Show somebody you care. You never know what somebody is going through, and I'm a true believer in that. And when in doubt, pray about it. I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to preach to everybody and everything, but honestly, when in doubt, pray. That's what I do. When in doubt, pray. And I have to laugh because I prayed that a few weeks ago, I prayed that I could go see my sister, because I wanted to see my sis downstate, but I always would have to have somebody take me down there or whatever. Well, God answered my prayer. He gave me an ice storm. If that ain't getting me out of the house, I don't know what is. So they always say God works in mysterious ways, right? And he sure did. He answered my prayer, and he keeps answering my prayers over and over again. And God bless you all. I love you bunches. I'm going to give big hearts. Throw some hearts there in the chat, will you? Everybody throw a heart in there for me. And I'm going to say good night to everybody. Walter, send me your address, and I'll get you this cool koozie, right? And I'll send Walter stickers, my cute stickers. I still have stickers. So, yeah. So you all go out there and enjoy your week, the rest of your weekend and your week and all that. Don't forget Tuesday night is Shaney's show with Shaney and Will Fly and Nick J. So make sure you get on there on Tuesdays. And then Thursday is my show, Thursday nights. And then Friday is Scuba Vapes. And don't forget, Ready to Paramotor. His show's on Thursday night at 9 o'clock. He's on twice a month. So every other week. He does his show on Thursday night. So we've already checked out David Will's show. So we all have fun. I follow everybody's show. I don't compete with nobody. I love what everybody does. And I love hanging out and all the different shows and stuff. So please be safe out there, okay? Share that love. I don't know. I get emotional when I talk about some things or whatever, but just be kind to that person and hug your loved ones because tomorrow's not promised, right? So just be thankful. And it really, like I said, from this ice storm and everything, it really put a lot of things in perspective tonight. And I wanted to hit on that more, but well, maybe we'll do that next week. But it taught me not to take so many things for granted. And that's electric and internet and all that. For not having power for 4 days and you couldn't shower, it was crazy. So, but I will see you all next week right here on Paramount USA. This is Lindy's Treehouse every Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Y'all come up, climb up the treehouse. We'll hang out, tell stories. If you want to jump in the studio some night with me, just let me know and say, hey, I want to hang out in the studio with you. And come on in. Okay. So you guys all take care. Love you bunches. Like I said, be kind to each other. Okay. Because we need a lot of kindness in this crazy world. So much love. I'm going to say good night. And I'll see you all next week, right? Okay. Bye. Thanks, guys. Guys and gals, thank you. Thank you, everybody, I really appreciate every one of you for coming on the show, coming in my chat tonight. I really appreciate it. So, and tomorrow's on the way. That's right, Walter from Australia. That's right. So, I'm going to shut it down, and I'll see y'all later. You know where to find me on Facebook, and say hi or whatever, and y'all be safe if you're flying or whatnot. Yeah, be safe, okay? Night, everybody. Much love. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. Bye.